Hello everyone, Bean here. So, what looks different behind me? Anything? You make some noise. And I played better the first time. Let's see what happens now. I don't Yeah, so still playing with the Buddha Zen man. Hey, how quiet that is? Amazing. Love it. So I started making a video. I'm still working on this backing track, if it sounds familiar. I played it exceptionally well. And I'm not just saying that because you can't hear it now. But I was like, again, I was looking at this guitar as I walked in. I was going to grab my Washburn, but something was calling out to me about grabbing this. And I did. And, that's what happens. It motivates you. It gives you, I don't know, a different guitar gives you a different vibe. So I can't find the words on how to express it, but it kind of steers you in a different direction. So I just let it fly right off the cuff as usual, and I'm just playing, and I'm liking what I'm doing. And then something pops up on my phone, and I'm waiting for it to go away. I'm wondering if it interfered with my recording, and then it rang. Now, on my other phone that I had, I would get a phone call, and it would not stop the video. This stopped the video, and my ringer started going off. I have my phone ringer set to Eddie Van Halen's Eruption, and I hear it, and I'm like, so I answered it, and it's another scammer. It's another, your loan for your business has been approved, BS. And I'm trying to shut off from that and hang up from that phone call, and of course I had to start the video all over again. Pain, but annoying, I know. So what's missing back here? Yeah, the Eddie Van Halen 5150 40 watt iconic 3. I'm working out in the garage. I'm doing stuff, cleaning the front of the house, and I have a leaf blower, and I just blow off the walkway and the driveway just to make it look pretty. And I got a guy coming to give me a quote on, cleaning up my backyard. I've got a jungle back there. Third time it overgrew. Because when I hurt my fifth surgery, I couldn't do anything in the backyard to keep it under control, and it grew like wildfire. wildflowers. It grew like crazy. So now I've got weeds that are like the size of a tree back there. And yeah, I'm working on making more pairs of nunchakus. And I got a guy that calls me twice, and somehow I missed his call because I don't attach myself to the phone. I just keep it where I'm at. I don't like it in my pocket unless I'm out of the house. And I call him back, and he's like, yeah, I'm interested in your amp. So he said he lives like 35 minutes away. I give him my address. He shows up like 45, 50 minutes later. And I have it in the garage all set to go. And he doesn't want to play it. He's like, I'm not a good player. I'll just embarrass myself. Can you play it? So yeah, I start doing some clean stuff with it, some finger picking. Then I go on the dirty channel and I start doing some, I forget what it was. I think it was some Clapton stuff, you know, the Cream song, and just to give him an idea. And I do a little bit of soloing, and I show him how, you know, the amp is only on 2, the gain is on 2, and then I show him how you could, you know, you got the boost and everything else. Long story short, or long story longer, he's liking it. We start, you know, talking, you know, BSing about stuff, and he says, okay, yeah, you know, I'll take it. I start unplugging it and getting ready to put the cover on it, and he hands me money, and I go to walk over. I use a marking pen all the time because I had a $100 bill that when I marked it, it didn't show, you know, it showed up a little black. If it shows up black, it's supposed to be counterfeit. So I had to take it to the bank, and the bank checked it, and the bank said it was good. The marker wasn't truly black like when you write on paper, but it didn't turn yellow and then disappear like it normally does. So since then, I mark everything, all currency, whether someone's giving me $25 or $800. I fan it out and I mark it all. So I go get ready to mark it, and I count it. I'm like, dude, it's only $150 here. And he says, yeah, it's $150, because the amp is $51.50. He saw the 50, you know, the 5150. He didn't think it was $5,150. He thought it was $150. You know, he was 71 years old. He told me how, you know, the age difference between him and I. And I wasn't even pissed. I was really laughing on the inside, and I didn't want to, like, you know, embarrass him, but I found it very amusing. Normally I would be like, you know, the opposite. So I'm like, no. And then I show him the ad. I says, see here, it says it says EVH 5150 is the model, $700. And he goes, oh. Once he said, I got to check with my wife, I already know. It's out of his ballpark. Like, doesn't he go to Guitar Center first or see other amps that are being sold on, you know, Craigslist and Marketplace, you know, tube amps, and see what they're going for? Like, he thinks that I'm giving, you know, these go for like $1,000, I think, brand new. I'm going to give a $1,000 amp away for $150. You know, I think $700 is a fair price. The amp is in mint condition. I've got the foot switch and the cover. It has no tears, no marks on it whatsoever. So yeah, it was one of those things where then when I brought it back in, it's sitting right in front of, on the other side of the stand next to the bed. And I was just like, you know what? You know, I don't even want to deal with picking it up and plugging it in the whole bit. Let me just leave it over there in case I get, because it shows you on Marketplace how many views you get. So I have my Charbel Natural on there, the Swamp Ash, and then I have that. And, you know, it constantly tells me, oh, it received 142 views, blah, blah, blah. So, and then I still get on the Charbel, I've got about a half dozen guys. And I say, if you still see my ad, I still have it. No need to ask if it's still available. I will not reply. I'll just give you a thumbs up. So when I see that, I give them a thumbs up and I say, if you want it, you must call as per my ad. And I have my phone number written down. So if you can't read, that means you can't buy. It's not a prejudice against people that can't read. It's just that it's a scammer. If you know, they don't see your phone number, they just want your phone number for various reasons, either to steal it or to con you or some shit. So so yeah, I write it. Plus the fact that on um, on Marketplace, if you put your actual digit phone number, they block it out. Because I've done that once, and I said, call my number on my ad. And you know, um, Facebook blocks it out. So I went on my wife's phone to go on her Facebook account to look up my accounts, and they sure enough they do that. So I write out the number. So it's, you know, it's 163, stuff like that. And so yeah, it was, and I show them, yeah, here it is, you know, 700. But yeah, I don't feel like it because of the amount of views I get on that and the Chauvel. And again, like I said, a half dozen people are always asking, is it still, hi Richard, is it still available? And between that and the bullshit on Craigslist, the a-holes that you got to deal with until you finally get a serious person that is interested, has the cash, comes, checks it out and buys it, you know, it's like you got to go through a dozen before you get, it's a baker's dozen. You got to go through a dozen before you get the 13th guy that's actually going to buy it from you. So that was going on with my pedals, my used pedals. I was taking the newer used pedals that I wasn't using, and I found I had more up in that container up there. And I was like, oh, this is like Christmas. Oh, I didn't know I had this one. Then I remembered, yeah, I tried it. I had it on for like a week or two, and then I pulled it off. So I took maybe 6 of them, and I brought them to Guitar Center. Because, again, the same bullshit. I was getting people, you know, is it still available? And I say, if you want it, you know, call me. You know what I mean? Like, and then I just got, and then I'm like, why am I dealing with, you know, jerks over a 25 or 55, you know, $60 pedal? Let me just bring it to Guitar Center, and whatever I get for it, I don't care because I'm not using it. And that's how I wound up getting my my Buddha Zen Man Overdrive Boost. Now I'm getting it confused with the other one. I didn't even have to pay for it. I had traded in 6 pedals. They were giving me more money than what this one cost, and I actually got some change back, and free shipping to my house. So yeah, that's a keeper on the board for sure. I still like the K-Line Orange Burst. That pedal, if I could fit another pedal on this board and have another separate, you know, power supply going to it instead of piggybacking off of my TC Electronics Polytune, because you could use that as another power source. I don't know if it's a full 9 volt. I wasn't sure about that. But, you know, that and the fact of maneuvering stuff to have that pedal back on here again, just to have another overdrive. Like how many overdrives do you need? Yeah. So, yeah, like my wife says, how many guitars do you need? How many guitars do you have? You know, not enough. So yeah, I would, you know, I might entertain that later on, but you know, the setup right now is quiet, it's functional, and I'm happy with it. So I just moved the Marshall over there. This Marshall, when I got it, this is the one that had the mice shit wrapped up in the bubble wrap. No, sorry, it was the Supersonic. Supersonic had mouse shit wrapped up in this one. When I got this one, it's like in mint condition. It said good condition. I would consider this great condition, you know, like new, but it smelled like cigarette smoke, you know. So I had to clean it, both sides. I had to clean as best as I could on the inside, and then I just put an air freshener in the back of the amp, you know. And when you come in, you could smell the air freshener for the first week, and you didn't smell, you know, the nicotine coming out of the amplifier. But yeah, that's another thing you got to deal with when you get something like that. You know what I mean? So if you see something used in the store, smell it. Just like, you know, you smell the old electric guitars, the old acoustic Martins. It's got that. Yeah. I never smelt this before, but it smells pretty good. No. Yeah, I had a guy come and wanted to trade with me in 1971, I think, in 72, Gibson SG. And as soon as he opened up the case, man, it smelled like smoke, cigarette smoke was coming out of it. And the frets were already flat, like they were already drawing it down one time. It was on its way to so low, you know, flatter than these. I think these are 6102, just like the Fender, the old Fender 70s frets. It was lower to the fretboard than this, and this is pretty low to the fingerboard. And I was like, no, I don't think so. So, yeah. Now if I'm in Guitar Center and I see something and I like when I saw the Fender Deluxe, Blues Deluxe down here, the tweed one, I didn't even try it in the store. I just looked at it, both sides, and again I tilted it forward and I stuck my head down there to smell it, see if it, if it's got an odor to it. I don't want it to smell like cigarette smoke, and I don't want it to smell like pot. It's either, one of the two, or you don't have any scent whatsoever. So yeah, that's pretty much what happened. So I was gonna, like I said, I think I said it in the first video that I had to stop. I was gonna grab the Washburn, but this was just calling out to me on the wall. And again, sometimes a guitar inspires you to do something different. And I did it different the first time. But then I deleted that video because I got interrupted. Yeah. I also have to set my on and off remote to my new phone. So now I'm going to have to go get up and turn it off. Well, thanks for watching. Have a good day, and I'll bet it tomorrow.